Okay. So, hello everyone. Today we are here to talk about the project-based learning that is secure cloud access control with multi-factor authentication. So, here goes the introduction. Cloud platforms such as Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and GCP are widely used today for storing, managing, and processing large amount of data. These platforms support applications, websites, and services, making them the backbone of modern digital infrastructure. As organizations increasingly depend on cloud systems, ensuring security becomes very important. However, many systems still use single factor authentication, which means users log in using only a password. This creates a major security issue because passwords are not very reliable. They can be easily compromised through phishing attacks, where the users can be tricked into revealing their passwords, or brute force attacks, where the attackers try multiple password combinations until they get succeed. To overcome this problem, multi-factor authentication is introduced. Multi-factor authentication (MFA) requires users to provide two or more verification factors, typically a password and a one-time password, that is OTP, sent to their device. This adds an extra layer of protection, making it much harder for unauthorized users to gain access even if the password is stolen. So the problem identification is passwords only authentication in cloud system creates a high risk of unauthorized access to sensitive data, right? Here are the key issues. That is weak authentication, which means relying only on a password is insecure because users often choose weak passwords or reuse them across multiple platforms. If one account is compromised, others can also be easily accessed. No role-based access control. In many systems, there are no proper distinction between different types of users, such as administrators or regular users. This lacks of control can allow users to access or modify data that are not authorized to handle. So, poor credential storage methods like user credentials may not be stored securely. For example, without encryption or hashing, this makes it easier for attackers to steal sensitive information if the system is breached. No activity monitoring or like audit logs. Without proper monitoring or logging, the system cannot track users' activity like logging in and log out. This means suspicious actions such as unauthorized logins or data access may go unnoticed and can be traced later. And the further will be continued by my teammates. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Kousthubha and today I will be presenting on literature review of our project. We studied several existing research works and security practices related to authentication system. First, research on firewalls and network security introduced layered security approaches, which forms the basic foundation of security systems. And from the basic foundation of secure systems, however, these methods do not include modern multiple factor authentication. And next, HMAC based cryptographic techniques were proposed to ensure data integrity and prevent tampering, but they require proper key management. And studies by security teams like Google highlights the importance of multi-factor authentication using OTPs and devices, which significantly reduces unauthorized access. Role-based access control models were also studied, which helps in restraining access based on user roles and improve system management, although they can be complex to implement. Finally, OWASP guidelines provide best practices for authentication, password storage, and session management, but they depend heavily on proper development implementations. Overall, these studies show combining multiple security techniques is necessary to build a strong and reliable authentication system. Moving on to objectives and scope. Now I will explain the objectives and scope of our project. The main objective of our project is to design a secure cloud based login system. We aim to implement multi factor authentication using both password and OTP to enhance the security. We also provide role based access control, separating admin and user functionalities. In addition, we ensure secure storage of user credentials and monitor login activities to detect suspicious behavior. Coming to the scope, our system will be developed as a web application hosted on cloud platforms like AWS or Azure. It will include user registration with OTP verification for added security. We will implement role based access control to manage permissions. Password will be stored in a encrypted format to protect user data. Finally, the system will be deployed using free tier cloud services, making it cost effective and practical. This is all about my part. Next will be continued by my teammates.
Requirement analysis, functional requirements, user register with email and password. User must create an account using email ID password. The system should validate a email format. Info strong password. Data is stored securely in the database. OTP generation and email delivery. When a user registers or logins, system generations OTP one-time password. OTP is a random 6-digit sent via email. OTP verification before login. User must enter OTP after password. System checks correct OTP. Valid time not expired if valid login success. If invalid access denied. Assessment system assigns the roles admin full control, user limited access. Role is strong uh, in database. Users can access feature based on role. Admin manage users view looks. Ma'am, ನಾನು ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ರೆ users can access feature based on role. Admin manage users view logs. User basic dashboard prevents unauthorized actions. Logging of login attempts. System records successful logins, failed attempts. Helps in security monitoring, detecting suspicious activity. Non-functional requirements. Security, HTTPS secure communication, bcrypt password hashing, OTP expire prevents reuse, protects against hacking. Performance system should respond quickly. Example, less than 2 seconds response time. Efficient backend and database queries required. Availability system should be available 24/7. Hosted on reliable cloud server. Minimal downtime. Scalability should handle multiple users at the same time. Example, 10 users, 1000 user without crash. Usability, simple and user friendly UI, easy navigation, clear instructions for OTP login, etc. Data protection complaints, follow rules like data privacy, secure storage, avoid misuse of user data. Next, methodology, system design. The system follows an agile methodology where development is done in a small iteration for better flexibility and continuous improvement. The project is developed in multiple phases: implementation of user login using email and password, integration of multi-factor authentication MFA using OTP, implementation of role-based access control for admin and user, final deployment of the system, continuous testing and debugging are performed after each phase to ensure reliability and performance. The MFA follow includes user enters credentials, system verifies password, OTP is sent to email, user verifies OTP, access is granted. Next will be continued by my team member.
Good evening, everyone. I am Chandana. Today, I will be presenting about the roadmap of our project, which we are how we are going to implement this. For like as we are seeing in this particular diagram, we are planning to use an agile method, software process. Uh, like we are planning to use a system architecture and the development approach for our project like using as in this we will be using an agile scrum methodology. Instead of building everything at a once, we will divide the development into a smaller phases like called sprints, where each sprints will focus on a specific features. Like in the initial phases, we will be focusing on like basic steps like planning and setting the environments, as it is already been implemented, but still some of the updates are required, so it will be better to use the sprints activities. So next stage, we will be implementing the user registration and a login system. After that, we can integrate the core feature of our project, which is a multi-factor authentication. Here in this process, first, when the user enters the credential, then the password is verified. After the successful verification, a one-time password will be sent to the user email. The user then enters that particular OTP, and only after the verification, access will be granted. This ensures that even if the password is compromised, unauthorized access is still prevented. Like in a following sprint, we are planning to implement a role based access control where an admin and a normal user will have a different permission. Next, we will be focusing on a security, where it is one of the most important thing. To enhance the user performance and implement the role based and we are using a password hashing and a secure communication. And additionally, we are planning to use HMAC to ensure that the data integrity, to prevent the data from a tampering. And also uh, moving towards the deployment and the testing, throughout this development, we are planning to use a complete improvement cycle regarding the planning, development, review, and a feedback in every sprint. Like moving on to the next slide, will be tools and technologies. We are planning for the front end, we will use HTML for a structure, CSS for a design, and JavaScript for the interactivity such as form validation and all. Here, for the backend, we are planning to use Python with the Flask framework, as it is very lightweight and suitable for building a secure web applications. For implementing the multi-factor authentication, we will use email-based OTP verification through SMTP. Here, SMTP stands for a Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. It is used to send an emails over the internet. We will configure that email SMTP with a TLS encryption, which is a method to encrypt the data on the port to ensure that the OTPs are transmitted securely. For the further enhancement of the security, we are planning to use HMAC, that is hash-based message authentication code, which ensures that the data exchange between the client and the server is not modified or tampered by any third parties. We will also use bcrypt hashing to secure the passwords, encrypting that they are not stored in a plain text. Like here, the one of the core feature of bcrypt is it cannot be hashed back to its original form, and each and every time it will create a new hash value, so that it can't be traced back to its original form. And for the database, we are planning to use MySQL to store the user data and OTP records, and for the login activities, for a logs and analog. For the development and testing, we will use tools like GitHub for a version control, VS Code for coding, and Postman for API testing. Overall, our system focus on secure authentication, data integrity, and a safe communication, making it suitable for real-world applications. Thank you. That's it for my part. Further will be continued by Priyanka.
Now I am explaining about the expected outcome of this project. Fully functional MFA-based login system. The project creates a login system using multi-factor authentication, meaning user login with both password OTP, secure cloud deployed web application. The application is hosted on the cloud and designed to be safe from hackers. Different users get different permission based on their rules. Secure credential storage using hashing. Passwords are not stored directly, they are encrypted so hackers cannot read them. improved understanding of cloud security and MFA. The project helps in learning how to protect system in cloud environment. Complete project will documentation and source code. The final output includes working code and proper explanation documents. Next slide. Conclusion. Password only systems are insecure. Using only password is risky because they can be easily accessed by anyone. Easily accessed according OTP gives an extra layer. Only authorized users can access specific features, improving safety. Even if data is leaked, hashed password cannot be easily decoded. Secure and scalable solution. The system is both safe and can handle more users as it grows. Thank you.
I hope it's over, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I have some queries. What kind of
Yes,
cloud
ma'am.
environment are you targeting? What kind of cloud environment? Whether it is like public or private or hybrid cloud platform. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, Hope you got my point.
Basically, if we are targeting a private cloud, most basically we want to target like public one. So it will be yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. Continue, Chandana.
Yes, ma'am. Some of the cloud platforms which are private will have their inbuilt they will have their proper authentication system. We are not going to use a public cloud as we have an AWS or Azure, like using a free tier services, because it is often cost effectively and it can be easily accessible, and also it will have some if it is public, everyone will use, and most of the time like people often if they want to theft the data, or they want to fish, like they will use most probably they will use public. Like most people go for a cost effective one. So we think we are planning to use target the public one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Why really MFA is necessary for this implementation of this project?
Ma'am, as everyone explained, like what happens is if we use a only single authentication system, most probably many people, like what they do is they will keep their birthday dates as password, or their name, or the 123 numbers, or the mobile phone numbers. It can be accessed easily because if we have one particular person email, we can theft their data using some of the technologies and tools. So what basically happens is many will save that password and all. If there is no multi-factor authentication, there is no OTP or any other biometric locks, if they don't have that particular system, what happens is the OTP will be hacked, and we can easily get their security data, or most probably people will store their critical data or whatever the important data in the cloud, for a storage purpose, or even for a if they want to do some activities, if they want to host, they will keep it in a cloud most probably nowadays because of the the cost effectiveness and use storage system. So if they have only one, like which is password, which can be easily hacked, and it is not, password is not enough secure. So adding multiple layers of security will like enhance the security system and will store the data in a more secure way.
Okay. Hmm. Hope you heard about vulnerabilities, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What are all the possible vulnerabilities in your system?
Weak password
Ma'am,
attacks.
even
Okay. Next.
yeah, Prarthana, continue.
OTP interception,
Hmm.
brute force attack, session hijacking,
Hmm.
OTP expiry issues, lack of HTTPS.
Hmm. That's it.
Uh, Ma'am, like simply to conclude it, like while no system is completely secure, as the technology evolves, we will having a more security threats. There is currently no system which is completely like 100% sure that it will secure our data. Like what our approach through this project is to minimize that risk by combining the multiple security layers like MFA, encrypting, hashing, or integrity checks, like to reduce some of the burdens. Like we are not saying it will like secure 100%, but it will minimize the risk what are all present in current situations.
Mm-hmm.
Adding to Chandana's point, there are some OTP based authentications which use phishing or SIM swap attacks, where attackers can intercept OTP and attack the system. Also, improper role based access control can lead to privilege escalation if roles are not correctly assigned or validated.
Mm.
Yeah, ma'am. Like inside threats, like employees or unauthorized users may misuse their actions. That is why, like these vulnerabilities, they will highlight the need for stronger security and measures like MFA and proper access control and encryption, and also monitoring systems will protect those cloud environments, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Okay, shall we end up with this session?
Yeah, ma'am, if no
Yes,
more
ma'am.
questions.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, guys, let's end this meeting.